You are lying in a house in Tigre, Argentina. Outside, millions of people are about to cry for you. Inside, there is no valid will, no clear estate, no liquid cash, just debt, $70 million of it, and a family that doesn't agree on anything except that you're gone. 3 decades ago, you were the most famous human being on the planet. Turns out fame has a surprisingly short shelf life. This is exactly what happened between those two moments. Let's set the scene. You were born in 1960 in Villa Fiorito, a shantytown on the southern edge of Buenos Aires where the streets aren't paved and the houses are built from whatever was available that week. 8 siblings, 1 room, a football made of rags. You are not supposed to make it out. At 10 years old, a scout watches you juggle a ball during halftime at a youth match. He thinks it's a trick. It isn't. By 15, you are already playing professional football. By 16, you are the most talked about teenager in Argentina. The money hasn't arrived yet, but it's coming. And then, in the single greatest argument against the idea that the universe has a plan, the universe gives the ball to you, specifically, permanently. It is June 22nd, 1986. Azteca Stadium, Mexico City, 114,000 people. Argentina versus England, 4 years after the Falklands War. This is not just a football match. This is something else entirely. In the 51st minute, you receive the ball near the halfway line. 5 English players between you and the goal. You start running. You don't stop. 10 seconds, 60 meters, 5 defenders, 1 goalkeeper, 1 shot. The commentator loses his mind. The stadium loses its mind. Argentina loses its mind. 11 minutes earlier, you scored with your hand. You called it the hand of God. The referee didn't see it. The world did. You didn't care. 2 goals. 1 game. 1 afternoon in Mexico City. That's all it takes. You are 25 years old. You are already the greatest footballer who has ever lived. And the money, finally, properly, obscenely, arrives. Napoli pays Barcelona $10.5 million for you in 1984. At the time, the most expensive transfer in football history. Your salary, $1.4 million per year, endorsements on top, bonuses on top, image rights on top. Naples goes insane, not metaphorically. The city shuts down, people line the streets, they paint murals of your face on buildings. They name their children after you. A city that had never won a Serie A title wins 2 while you were there. They treat you not like a footballer, like a saint. The money is real, the fame is real, the love is real. And around you, very quietly, very efficiently, something else is also becoming real. Your financial advisor sits across from you in Naples. He has a plan. It is a good plan. It involves contracts, image rights, structured payments, tax residency, and a clear accounting of what comes in and what goes out. You listen, you nod. You then hand everything, every contract, every endorsement, every financial decision to the people around you. Not the advisor, the people around you. The ones who have always been around you, the ones from the neighborhood, the ones who love you, the ones who need you. The advisor is gone within a year, naturally. By the late 1980s, the entourage has a name in Naples. La Corte di Maradona, the court of Maradona. Dozens of people, all of whom need something, all of whom you provide for. Generously, enthusiastically, without a single question about where the money is coming from or where it is going. The Italian tax authority, the Fisco Italiano, is watching all of this, quietly, patiently. They are very good at math. They are very good at waiting. Your accountant, not your accountant, the one the people around you hired, tells you everything is fine. You believe him, because why wouldn't you? He's your accountant. He is not, it turns out, particularly good at his job. The Fisco Italiano sends a letter, then another, then another. You don't read them. Someone around you reads them. Someone around you decides not to tell you, or tells you and you don't process it. The details here are genuinely unclear, which is itself the problem. By 1991, the Italian authorities have a number. It is not a small number. It will grow for the next 30 years. With interest, with penalties, with the particular enthusiasm of a government that does not forget. You think the problem is manageable? You are wrong, but we'll get to that. Here is the decision, not one decision, a chain. Each link making the next one easier to ignore. Link 1. You never learn what you earn. Not approximately, not roughly, not even in the right order of magnitude. The people around you handle it. You play football. That is the arrangement. It seems reasonable in 1984. It will not seem reasonable later. Link 2. Every time someone tries to formalize the arrangement, a real accountant, a real lawyer, a real financial structure, the people already in the arrangement make it uncomfortable. They've been with you since Villa Fiorito. You don't replace people from Villa Fiorito. You don't question them. That's not who you are. Link 3. The habit arrives. We won't name it. We'll call it what it actually was. A line item that appeared in no official financial statement and cost, conservatively, millions of dollars across 2 decades. It is also the thing that makes every other decision easier to avoid making. Link 4. FIFA, the Italian tax authority, the Argentine tax authority, 3 separate governments, 3 separate debts, 3 separate legal processes running simultaneously across 3 decades, each one growing, each one compounding, each one being handled by someone who is not you and is not handling it. Your lawyer, that one of several across several countries, tells you the Italian debt alone has reached $37 million. This is in the late 1990s. You are still one of the most recognizable humans on Earth. Your name alone is worth millions in endorsements. You fire the lawyer, because the lawyer is the one delivering bad news, and you have always preferred the people who don't deliver bad news. In a move that surprised absolutely no one who was paying attention, the debt does not disappear when the lawyer does. By 2004, the Italian government has seized assets. Not threatened to seize. Seized. A watch at an airport? Jewelry. Whatever they can find when you land on Italian soil. You stop landing on Italian soil. The number by this point, $37 million to Italy alone, growing at a rate that no endorsement deal can outrun. In Argentina, a separate process. The Argentine tax authority has its own number, its own lawyers, its own patience. You are coaching, you are commentating, you are appearing at events. The name still works, the face still opens doors. But the money that comes in goes immediately, efficiently, invisibly, into a structure that no one fully understands, controlled by people whose loyalty is to the structure, not to you. And here's where it stops being a financial story and becomes something harder to watch. The habit is no longer a line item, it is the organizing principle of your life. Rehabilitation, relapse. Rehabilitation, relapse, Cuba, Buenos Aires, Dubai. Each time, the people around you announce that this time is different. Each time, it isn't. In 2004, you weigh 128 kilograms. Your heart stops. Clinically, they bring you back. The doctors are very clear about what caused it and what will happen if nothing changes. Nothing changes. By 2019, you are coaching Gimnasia y Esgrima La Plata in Argentina, a second division club. The most famous footballer in the history of the sport is coaching a second division club for a salary that, after the various legal claims against it, leaves almost nothing in your pocket. The Italian debt, still there. Now $50 million with 3 decades of interest. The Argentine debt, still there. The estate, a collection of properties in various legal states, some mortgaged, some disputed, some simply lost in the paperwork of 30 years of financial chaos. November 25th, 2020. Tigre, Argentina. You die of a heart attack in a rented house. Not your house. A rented house. You are 60 years old. The most famous man Argentina has ever produced dies in a rented house with $70 million in unpaid taxes and no valid will. The family finds out about the estate the same way everyone else does. Slowly, painfully, through lawyers. The legal battle begins before you are buried. 8 acknowledged children across 4 countries. Multiple former partners. A financial estate that no one, not your family, not your lawyers, not the people who were supposed to be managing it, can fully account for. The Italian government files its claim. $50 million. With interest, with penalties, with 30 years of compounding patience. The Argentine government files its claim. Your children file against each other. Your former manager, the man who controlled your finances for decades, is investigated. The investigation reveals what the people paying attention already suspected. The structure that was supposed to protect your money was protecting someone else's interests more efficiently than yours. You had properties. Some are found, some are disputed. Some exist only in documents that reference other documents that reference accounts that no longer exist. The watch the Italian government seized at the airport in 2004? It was eventually auctioned for $400,000, applied against the debt, a rounding error. What you publicly said in interviews across 30 years was that money never interested you, that football was everything, that the people around you were family. What the numbers say is different. The numbers say that the greatest footballer who ever lived generated hundreds of millions of dollars across a 40-year career and died without the liquidity to cover his own funeral expenses. His family covered the funeral. The irony writes itself. You started with a rag ball in Villa Fiorito. You ended in a rented house in Tigre with $70 million in debt and a family that didn't know what you owned. The goal was real, the fame was real, the love was real, the money was always someone else's. Subscribe. Next week, we look at the man who won $314 million on Christmas morning and somehow found a way to make this look responsible.